King Jerome.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome back to the episode of First and Foremost. We back with another episode. We happy to be here today, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We got a lot to talk about. It is getting to the nitty gritty of football. We're in the quarterfinals, man. So I'm gonna start with y'all. My co-hosts Bacon and Jerome. How y'all feeling today, man? What's y'all biggest takeaway from the weekend before we begin?
Man, blessed and highly favored, man. I would say biggest takeaway from this past weekend, I'm gonna say the emergence of what's his name, Ryan Mosley and number 11 for Carrollton. I really think those young men, they had touchdown apiece this past Friday. So look for them to come up big next week against Walton, man. That's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway is, man, we got some crazy Elite Eight games, man. Carrollton, Walton, we got Buford, Grayson, Camden, Co, and Mill Creek. We got Milton and Colquitt. I mean, you can't ask for a better weekend. You can't. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, I agree with y'all. I mean, you go up and down that classification bracket. I mean, it is.
Get out of here!
Oh man,
you start from 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A. I mean, it's pretty jam packed, man. To be honest, so I think my biggest takeaway, man, is I think Shiloh's the real deal when it comes to hoops. Tyler Jordan been balling the 4-star prospect, and Norcross starts 0-3 to start the season. So I know it was a work in progress for them. It's going to take time, right? Get everything going. We'll see if their seniors will come and play basketball, finish it out strong. AJ Watkins, Antonio Mulder. But I think that's my biggest takeaway. Shiloh been balling. Tyler Jordan, Julian Cole look really good together. And Norcross starts off the season 0-3.
Boy, you look tired, though. I ain't going to lie to you, brother. You been up since 5 this morning, bro.
Talking about me?
Yeah, you look groggy, man.
Yeah, I'm tired, but I'm
actually tired, to be honest.
I feel you, man. I know about them 5 a.m. hours, man. It's a grind.
Shout out to my guy, Luke. Luke, I love you and I also hate you. Gonna come in here just to troll me. You literally just over here texting me saying, I literally came in here just to troll you. Don't just come in here just to troll me. Come and support the boys. Come on, man.
Kick your feet up, man.
Get out of here.
Drink you a soda. Pop you up a soda.
Support. Yeah, I hope you liked the video before you left, sir. I hope you subscribed to the video before you left, sir. I digress.
Cool.
But all right, man, let's keep it going. Now we got Go Cowboys and Roll Tide in the comment section. This is lit right now in the comments. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man, too.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go ahead and do a first and foremost. I'll start and then throw it to you guys. I think my biggest first and foremost is Rome's big win against Langston Hughes, right? I didn't think it was going to be in that kind of fashion, but 28-0 in the first quarter really took over. Just a lot of mental mistakes you don't really see from a Langston Hughes group or Coach Boone group, in my opinion. So I think that was uncharacteristic of them. But I definitely think that Rome, just their defense, I think from top to bottom. If you start from the safety position in Joe Wilkinson, then you go to linebacker and Jaden Harmon, then you go down to the defensive line and Justin Terrell. I think they have a complete defense. And they showed that Friday night. They got a big one this weekend against Thomas County Central. That won't be easy, but I think that result really surprised me. And Penn Terranola went 4 interceptions. You don't see that too often.
True.
Definitely. Real quick, shout out to my guy Rags and Fitness. I actually met him at Carrollton when Caleb Odom was committing. Real cool guy. He's actually a real, Alabama guy. He's from Alabama. He's an Alabama guy. So, in the sense of my guy here, Roll Tide. Good for you, man. Thank you, Rags. I appreciate y'all. This loser, get out of here. Thanks for liking the video, though. I do appreciate that, Luke. That's my guy. We all know Luke. That's our guy, man. He just be trolling for no reason. But I love you, man. I I guess I'll go to my first and foremost. First and foremost, obviously, I see y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all see the hoodie. You got new merch at Inside the Hashes coming out very soon. So definitely check this out, man.
Nice, so fresh and so clean.
Yeah. Designed by your boy. I love it. It's it feels great. So we're gonna be having this coming out very, very soon. So that's my first and foremost on that. And my other first and foremost is I know y'all seen that game next night. Go Birds. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's go Birds.
For sure. I'll just say, man, first and foremost, since we're on the topic of NFL football, the sinking the hips tackle, is it this man crazy? Is it hindering the defensive player, or is it prolonging the longevity and the health of this NFL players as they retire and go on to the next level in their life? So that's my question to y'all, man, and the people in the comments. How y'all feel about the whole hip sinking tackle? Should we get rid of it? Should we keep it? You know, I personally think we should. It's tough, man. I think we should keep it, man. I was talking to one of my guys, man. We like Tom Brady said, we're getting away from the actual, just the physicality of football, and I feel that's what really brought the fans into it. Of course, people like to see people score points, but I mean, what the hell are the fans gonna do? Yeah. He came out and said that, ironically,
Mr. Get every call, cry after every call, Mr.
Tuck rule.
Two rules changed after him to protect that man. He's the one talking. That's hilarious. That's ironic. That's oxymoronic. That's crazy.
Brother using this platform, man. But yeah, that's what I think.
You gotta do. But yeah, I agree with you, Bacon. I just think that football is football, bro, and injuries gonna happen. I know in the NFL right now, injuries are at all-time high. Right. I don't think I've ever seen these, especially at the quarterback position. I think there was only one other year that there was a lot of injuries at the quarterback position, and that's when they changed the rule. Like you have to pin them down softly and stuff like that. Like all that stuff happened right when there's a quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks get injured. So right now, none of the top guys. I mean, I know Sorry, Najee, for bringing it up, but I know Joe Burrow is one of the top guys right now that's injured. But like if it was like a Mahomes or something like that, I'm pretty sure they'll try to get some kind of change in there or something, because there's a lot of quarterback injuries right now. But I like I said, I think that football is part of the injuries. It's a physical game. You can't try to keep teaching people the soft way to tackle.
Right.
At the end of the day, you're going to start hurting yourself.
So,
I mean, it's a hard dynamic. I understand, trying to protect the players and this and that, but also you got to realize this is a physical sport. It always been, it always will be, unless you make it flag. So,
but you'll adapt for $40 million. If they say like $40 million, you think of that big check. If you finna get $40 million for being a defensive player, you'll figure out a way to get somebody down. You know what I mean?
100%. But, you're right. But I don't know, man. It's just tough. Najee, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I got a hot take on this. Yeah, I don't know what else you want players to do.
I'm trying to go to the Grayson game. We'll talk about that, Rags. I'm trying to go to the Grayson and what's the Grayson Buford. Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to get into. So. Coach, answer my text, Coach.
Go ahead, Nas.
We can keep rolling. We can go to the first round of the playoffs. Second round. Yeah, react to the second round. I'm gonna start with you, Bacon. What stood out to you?
You talking about just the matchups to the next round? I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, just reacting to the second round. What stood out?
Man, what stood out to me was Bryan County getting that dub, man. It's a running back down there. His name is what's his name? Anyway.
We're talking about that right now, Luke.
All right. Yeah, that's shout out to him, man. Like I said, I got some family down there, man. It's good to see. It's good to see one of the hometowns go crazy, man. So, and Bryan County is never good historically. So for them to get this far and they're undefeated, shout out to Bryan County, man. Go Redskins. That's my biggest takeaway.
Okay. And you, Jerome?
My biggest takeaway is man, that the Milton getting in there. I know Colin Silva was in there, but Milton is always like a good team for me. So I think just my biggest takeaway is really just Elite Eight, man. This is a really cool, fun Elite Eight looking crew right here. Also that Rome game, obviously beating Langston Hughes. I think that was a huge one. I think most of us took Langston Hughes in that game, except one person who's not on this podcast right now. But shout out to Coach Mill, man. He had it, man. He knew he speak. This is one thing about Coach Mill. That man speaks with conviction, and he was very convicted that that's how the game was gonna go. And bro, he was not wrong. So shout out to Coach Mill on that one for sure.
For sure. I think for me, I'm going to go with, I think Woodward's big victory against Houston County kind of shut down the explosive offense, 27-7. It's not easy to do. They've been rolling lately. Griffin Marshall had a touchdown. Lucas Farrington had a touchdown. I think they've been playing really, really good. So that's one of my big standouts from the weekend. And then obviously I got to go Warner Robins, man, 23-21 victory. Ware County scored right before to go up 6, and then they came right back with less than a minute left. Alberto Medina hits the game-winning 42-yarder. That's not easy to do. These teams have played 3 straight years in the playoffs, and also they played last year in the state championship game as well. So those are some of my standouts, that big win as well.
Most definitely. Before we move on, the young man's name is Austin Clemens. He's averaging 144 rushing yards per game, and that ain't all. He is also, leading the team in 20 touchdowns as a running back. They're a real run-heavy team. So, and he's second in team tackles with, I believe, 8.4 tackles a game. So, running back and linebacker doing it all, man. So, shout out to Austin Clemens, man.
Yes, sir. Good shout out right there. And then, just what was y'all? What was like the biggest? I guess you could say biggest surprise and upset. I mean, like what? Obviously, we've talked about some of this reacting to it, but just what was one that caught your eye? I mean, we got 2 4 seeds right now, currently in 5A. But just what was your biggest kind of upset surprise?
I got one. LaGrange, man. LaGrange. How you say the other school name? Benedictine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LaGrange, man. I thought they was gonna at least get to this point of the playoffs. Really good team. Really good head coaching. Some very underrated players on their team, but Benedictine. I think I said that right this time.
Yeah, solid.
Beating them, man. I thought that was a solid win for them. Congratulations to them. I thought, like I said, at least LaGrange should be in the top 8 in the 4A class. What about you guys?
For you, Bacon?
Cambridge, man. I didn't really see them. I'm not Cambridge, Camden, South Georgia team. I'm not in love with the wing team. That's probably why. McEachern has more of a pro-style offense, so they just really fumbled the bag. But Camden definitely surprised me. I did not expect the let's see. And they're a 3 seed. Yeah, 3 seed to beat the 1 seed. I wasn't expecting that, man. But that's what the bracket is for, man. Upset city. What about you, Najeh?
I got to go Cass, man. Me and you talked about it, Bacon. Just that going in that environment. I think you had took Mays, if I'm not mistaken. But as you said, tough environment. Going in there, playing against them, pretty much controlled the game throughout. Devin Henderson, 2 interceptions, 30-yard receiving touchdown in that one. Brody McWarlock, he's coming into his own. It's a back-and-forth game between those two. I was up 14-0. They answered back, and they pretty much put it on cruise control, I think. So I think the biggest thing is just, Cass has been playing really well. Cass has been playing well. They beat number 1 seed, right, Kale, and now they beat the number 2 seed in May. So they've been doing an outstanding job.
Thanks. But don't put that smut on my name, man. I did not pick Mays. You can run a tape back. I definitely went with the boys out in Cass, man. I like what they got going on, man. I like the but shout out to the boys at Mays.
I think you picked Mays. I think you still watch out for Mays.
I did, but I didn't see them beating Cass because they don't really have a QB, man. I knew they would grind them out, but you got to put up. I mean, it was a close game. You know what I'm saying? I just,
You didn't believe it.
I didn't believe in them boys on the south side this time.
I got you. And the last thing for me, we're going to go to quarterfinals. I want to give Luke a shout out. He covered, obviously, Clemson this week. I know he's seen the ridiculous numbers. Yeah. I gave him a shout out early on my show on Tuesday. Sammy Brown, 355 yards rushing, He had a interception, 15 tackles, I think 5 total touchdowns. That's just getting it done, man. 3 TFLs. I mean, that's getting it done, man. That's on both sides of the ball. Clemson's getting an outstanding player. And I think he's going to be another one of those. Like, now you look at Clemson like, oh, they got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. They got 2 great linebackers. I think he's going to be the next great linebacker for Clemson. I know a lot of people are like, oh, what is he going to look like? I mean, Sammy Brown's the real deal, and he really let in the big.
Sammy Brown playing behind. Playing behind Heaven Brown Schuler on that D line. Woo, man, that's gonna be fun to watch. That's gonna be fun to watch.
How y'all feel about like they're comparing them to like what's the linebacker back in the day? He had the headband. He got ran over by
the Seattle dude.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, bro.
Bosco, something like that.
Something like that.
I know you're talking about.
He's big.
He got ran over though.
I could see it though, but the fact that he got ran over by Bo Jackson.
Let's be real. It's a linebacker. He's a white boy. That's a big stiff.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That happens all the time. It's the Wes Walker effect, man.
Prototypical. I didn't know he was a bass fisher. I didn't know that. I knew he was a wrestling champ.
Thanks, Luke.
Bosworth. Yeah. Facts,
Thank
man. But yeah, my man's a fisherman. I like that. Fisherman, three-time state champion wrestler.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Track as well.
Track? Yeah. It was like what, 10-2?
Yep. The real deal. Yeah, man. So that's gonna be a fun matchup. They gotta play Harris County.
Interview,
so
sir.
Interesting. What do you say?
That's gonna be interesting for sure.
What is?
What happened?
What'd you say is gonna be interesting?
No, I'm saying that game was definitely gonna be interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, between them and Harris County for sure. But all right, we're gonna look ahead to the quarterfinals. Some big time matchups. I'll start with you, Jerome. You started up for us. What is some matchups you are looking forward to?
Well, obviously the big one I'm trying to go to is the Grayson Buford game. I mean, I think this and the Carrollton game. Those 2 games, Carrollton and Walton. Those 2 games, man. It's hard to pick a true favorites on either one of them. When you look at Buford and Grayson, Buford has the big name quarterback. You got KJ Bolden that's on the defensive end, who also plays offense as well. You got Grayson, who's known for the defense. Got guys like John Cena on the offensive side. Their quarterback JD's a good quarterback as well. So how balanced are either one of those teams? I still sticking on my initial pick. I'm still going with Grayson, but man, this is a good game. I'm hoping it's a great game. Again, I'm trying to get to this one. Coach, hit me up. But
get there, bro.
Definitely, I think this is going to be a matchup for some time. Then you got the Carrollton and Walton game, man. I'm very high on Walton this year as well. Carrollton got Juju. Looking like one of those quarterbacks that I hate to say this, especially so early, but one of those generational guys.
Most definitely.
And looking like a guy that's a transcending kind of quarterback. Obviously going to USC as well, so he's gonna get that Lincoln Riley coaching up there, and the QB whisperer. Man, I just think that Walton is a physical team, got a really good defense on them. Carrollton got that. The team Carrollton's a little smaller. They're a little smaller, but they're very tactical. Coaching staff is very, very smart. Like I said, I've seen them a couple of times in person, and that coaching staff, man, they don't care who's their quarterback. They don't care who's their running back. They're gonna do what's best for that game. So the last Carrollton game I've been at, Juju Lewis literally did not much, but they was running the ball down. It was Westlake. They was running down their throats, and Westlake literally could not stop it. And they was like whatever. So Yeah, man, I'm excited about this for sure. Juju to Alabama. Hey, man. Hey, you never
Crazy,
know. You never know. You never know. And
Go
especially
on to
with
you, Bacon.
going to Big Ten, man. That's interesting.
I think we should take. Well, actually, I'll just go ahead. I'll start with Grayson and Buford, man. It's Buford. Buford easy peasy, not easy peasy, but I think Buford 10 points. And I say that because let's see how Buford's O line. I watched the highlights. Who they just played? Who they just played again? Remind me, y'all.
Buford.
Yeah,
Norcross.
I mean not Buford. Grayson. Excuse me.
Oh, Grayson.
North Paulding.
North Paulding. I don't think it was them, but it was when I saw the film against Newton. They kind of struggled against Newton's pass rush. If you struggle against Newton's pass rush, you're definitely gonna struggle against Bryce Perry Wright and I can't remember the big boy's
credit
name.
Newton.
Edric Houston.
Yeah, Edric Houston. What'd you say, Jerome?
Dude's D-line's good though, man.
That's true, but that's not comparable to Buford's D-line.
But,
So
I mean, that's like saying the Eagles struggled against, Kansas City's D-line. Yeah, but even though, Eagles that don't mean Eagles have a bad offensive line. Kansas City had a really good defense,
it's a
really
valid point. Stick with me, brother. Stick with me.
I'm just saying.
These are two elite, four potential 5-star defensive end, edge rusher potential. So I'm saying if you struggle against that, it's gonna be all hell break loose when them boys pin their ears back and get to you. Now on the flip side, looking at Dylan Raiola, I feel like Buford's O line is big and solid, but even if they do get some pressure, the brother's got some hips he can move, he can wiggle around. And a wide receiver that we're leaving out is my friend Tyshawn White. He's got five total touchdowns this season. Second,
North Carolina
commit, right? UNC commit. And looking back at that Mill Creek game, it came up big. So I definitely think it's gonna come up big in this matchup against Grayson, man. So stay on the lookout for those two guys, man. I just think that D line is gonna be a big problem for Grayson, man. What's his name? Don't have to have the accuracy like Dylan, but he may surprise me. But I'm all Buford. And in terms of the Carrollton Westlake game, that's the game I will be attending. I got new lens coming in, so it should be fun. I'll be like a kid in the candy store, but I'm gonna go with Walton. I'm gonna stick with it. I can't switch up. I might pay because Juju and Carrollton and them boys is big. I feel like Ryan Mosley and them boys is gonna get active. I can't read it, brother, but I'm sticking with my point. Yeah, Walton for sure, hands down, and Buford by 10, possibly more. What about you, Nash?
Yeah, I agree with you with the Buford Grayson game. I think it's kind of a shame that it's not going to be on TV. It will be on NFHS Network, right? Which is good. Luke is actually going to be on the call along with I think David Bellamy. So definitely go watch it there. I thought a major network should have picked it up, a GPP. Obviously, I know they do a Milton Colquitt, but or even us, Future Sports Network. I just think that's a game you put on, right? These teams have never faced each other. Right? Did y'all know these teams are combined? They have 17 state championships between the two programs.
That's crazy.
They've never played. Yeah, they've never played before. Buford last won one in 2021. Grayson won one in 2020. And get this, Bacon. This is a nationally ranked matchup. Buford is number 16 according to Max Preps. Grayson is number 43. So this is a nationally ranked matchup as well. So
let's go.
Late. Get them up on the screen, man.
What it's going to come down to is. It's going to come down to execution, right? It's too many. This is so much Power 5 talent, Division I talent on one field, right? It's going to come down to the little stuff, the execution, right? The special teams, right? Who converts on third and fourth down. All that stuff is going to be crucial, I think, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this game, right? Obviously, you mentioned the offensive line, which is a great point, Bacon. Can they hold up against them, right? I think Grayson has an underrated but a good offensive line, right? But like you said, they got a big rotation over there at Buford, right? They got Nick Maggio, right? They got Bryce Perry Wright. They got Edric Houston. They got Martrice Dillard. You know what I'm saying? So they got a bunch of guys that can throw in there that they can rotate. Key for Grayson is being able to run the ball, establishing a run with Dylan Elder and Amari Austin early in the game, right? Set up the play action pass. And believe it or not, I know this sounds crazy, Bacon. Actually, Jeff Davis has more passing yards than Dylan Raiola this season, believe it or not.
That's tough.
Yeah, he does. So he's been coming into his own with his maturation process and his growth. I like their weapons. Like I said, the interesting matchup is going to be Colin Fox, right? Colin Fox is a mismatch, 4-star player, right? Where they kind of have KJ Bold and kind of shadow him a little bit, right? Or are they going to go and run the cover 2 or cover 3 and kind of give it the middle of the field? All that is kind of stuff you want to kind of pay attention to and look out for as well in this game. And then the front 7 for Buford, we mentioned 4 of them. We didn't even mention their linebackers, right? Jaden Parlati and also Montrez Walker. So they got some weapons. I think if you're Grayson, you got to go over the top. I'm not saying the KJ, but you got to try their corners on the outside. And they got weapons. They got John Senius. They got Colin Fox, I mentioned, and Alexander Sanchez. Senius is underrated, but, man, the dude's fast. Clocked in at the 22 miles per hour in their past game, bro. 22 miles per hour. Already has 2 kickoff returns for, John Senius. Already has 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown this season. So that's going to be a great game, man. And you look on the other side of the ball with Buford, same thing. Establishing the run. Don't put too much pressure on Dylan. Dylan's bigger. Use Justin Baker. You know what I'm saying? Kind of going that. Now, he can carry you, obviously. Rayola's that good. But what I'm saying is you don't want to get behind the 8-ball in this game and let that pass rush for Grayson start to heat up. And I'm excited to see Tyler Atkinson, man. He's that dude, right? 4-5-star player. Man, he makes – I know I said generational talent with obviously Juju, right? But think about this. I think he's a generational talent on the defensive side of the ball. He makes some unreal plays too. So you got to keep note of that as well. Some big punch-out fumbles, interceptions. He leads them in tackles, 160 tackles and 7 sacks. Yeah, that's what he's done this year so far.
I agree with what Luke's saying, man. Fox only have 1 pass. Fox only have 1 pass so far, man, in this playoffs. He's bound to get something going, man. He does.
He should have a lot more yards and usage this season.
Easily. And the thing about Fox is a red zone target. He's not tripping off his targets, you know? Mm-hmm. So even if you don't get it to him and using your outside threats, I've seen him go with over 2 people in the Archer game and come down with a touchdown catch. So he's going to be used, man. And then going to the Carrollton game, I agree with you. I think we all across the board with Walton. Obviously, I'm not seeing no Carrollton. Again, I agree with you. For generational talent with Juju, right? 45 touchdowns. Again, he's doing it again. Last year was 50. So he's just a great talent. Like you said, that offense – well, great point, Bacon. They're tactical, right? They're not looking to be all this extra stuff. They're surgical. They're trying to. But I think Walton is the same way offensively. Walton is not a. Can they get big plays? Yes, Walton can, but Walton is also surgical. They can go. They could just march down the field. We all seen that week 1 against Grayson, right? Now that's a lot of weeks removed, but it's the same thing. And what I've seen Walton do offensively, more with less, right? White Simon went out with a broken hand. Cam Lloyd stepped up, right? Had 100 kill all season. They haven't even been using their running back, Makari Botterford, right? So it's going to be an intriguing game. And I think the key early in this game, they got to establish a tempo for Walt. And then defensively, right, they got to get them early stops. Once they get them early stops against Carrollton, them 3-and-outs like how Valdosta did, Valdosta only had a 3-point lead. Walton got to jump out how they did against Buford last year. Get a 14, 21-point lead. Make them play from behind and then make that tough. And then your pass rush from Wendell Gregory, who you interview, Bacon, can start to heat up. Right, Owoda Ogokwe can start to heat up, right? So that's my stance on those games.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I really want to see how Willie Calhoun, because Carrollton has a good defensive line. They're smaller, but as they've shown all season. Let me pull this young man's name, man, from Carrollton, who I feel like is going to be an X factor. Number 17, John Levy. Coach, what's his name? Coach King's been raving. He was raving about him at the beginning of the season. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how he pans out, because he had a solid game last week, solid big game on the low last week. And I think it's going to be a kind of a grinded out battle, man. Good teams, you know what I mean? It's going to be like a jabbers fight, man. Nobody really throwing any hooks till maybe late. I'd be shocked if it's just a drag out, unless it's like somebody goes up 10-17 and come back and it's close at the end. I'm hoping for a good barn burner, you know what I mean? Somebody can warm my hands up under that cool night.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah, Wendell Gregory is an X factor to me on that defense, man. He's aggressive. He's quick off the line, man. He's physical, and like I said, Carrollton is a smaller team. I think he's gonna take advantage of that in this game.
He's a dog.
He's definitely a dog. He look like his body type reminds me a little bit of obviously smaller because Myles Garrett's huge, but he reminds me of like a body that could get to like a Myles Garrett type of body. So yeah, man, he's a dog.
We haven't talked about Van Bride. Does anybody want to say anything on the brothers' behalf? Because we had a lot of Van Bride influence last week.
Yeah, I think he's one of those X factors too. We didn't mention him, but I think on the back end, if they're gonna win, right? We didn't even mention Caleb Odom either, the 6'6" target. That's a problem, right?
Yeah.
So what they're gonna have to do, they're gonna have to play bracket football, right? They're gonna have to find unique ways. They can't just run a certain coverage the whole game, or Juju's gonna pick that apart, right? So you got to run some different exotic blitzes. You got to run some cover shell, right? You got to run some quarters, some cover three. You got to just throw different things at them, and you got to try to have somebody that can guard Odom as best as possible. And a lot of that, I think, is going to be zone, and they got to get home with their rush, right? I think Brian comes in because, and Brian comes in, he got to be able to defend and get their top target.
I said, got to bracket them. Is that what you thought I said? Oh, I'm sorry.
Hot take.
No, you're good.
Hot take.
Yeah.
The most receptions in this game is going to come from the tight ends, and they're going to combine for. I'm going to say they're going to combine for 20 receptions.
20 receptions. That's tough. This can't start. We consider Caleb tight end or wide receiver.
Tight end.
Tight end. Okay.
I can play wide receiver.
No, he's a tight end. He's a tight end
for sure.
Fox and Caleb, bro. 20 receptions in the game. Combined.
If Colin has 10 receptions, it might be a tough game.
No, for real, that's gonna be crazy.
Hey, shout out to you for the sub, man.
Hey, man, listen. If you make sure you're subbing on all of them, because I know Rags and Fitness, you're on Inside the Hatches. Please sub on Najeh's and sub on Bacon. I think Bacon's connected. I don't know.
Nah, bro.
If he's not, go to Bacon's as well. It's all right here. So if you could just do us that solid, and I'll move this so you can see. If you do us that solid and follow all of us on YouTube, we are posting all this on all our YouTube channels as well. Yeah. So thanks are I hit them all. Hey, there we go. That's my guy. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Definitely. So, man, yeah, I love this matchup, man. I think these two games are great games. But yo, let's talk about a little bit of the other games, man. Because I know we like these two games. Let's talk about the other two 7-8 games. Colquitt and Milton. Milton got any chance?
Yes. I think
I'm rolling with Milton. So
really,
I like that.
I think people are sleep on them.
Good.
I mean, you feel how you want to feel. I think AJ Benton, nobody knows about him a lot. I'm the one that kind of try to give him some love. I don't know if you guys see my Twitter. You can follow that too, Najee Wilk. I think he's one of the X factors defensively. Coming sideline to sideline, kind of slowing down. They run a little bit. Got a really good defensive line. A lot of people sleep on Milton. Key in his game, establishing the run, right? Not having Luke pass the ball 40+ times, right? I think that's the key in the game. A lot of people sleep on him. Y'all go look at Milton Eagles football Twitter and look at what people were saying about Collins Hill and them having to tighten it up. They use it as one of their things to get prepared and ready. This team ain't playing. Yeah, go on Twitter and go to Milton Eagles football and look who they had. The two, you know what I'm saying? Y'all check your phones now. While I get my take, go check your phones.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, go look. Milton ain't playing. So I love Milton. I love Coach Reeves. I love that program. I think it's gonna be tough because this is Colquitt. Right, but Nico fans a little banged up. We'll see what happens with that. But Milton got established to run. They got too many weapons, man. And I think they're gonna be able to control the ball, control the game. And they might struggle a little bit out the gate, but they're gonna get it going. And I think they're gonna win. Them being at home, I think makes the difference, y'all. Because think about last year they had to play Mill Creek on that neutral site. It was sucked, right? They're at home this year. So I'm rolling with Milton, man. I think Milton, it's gonna be a good game. It's not gonna be a blowout, right? This is some of the best football we're gonna see. But Milton's going to come out on top.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking Colquitt. The reason why I'm taking Colquitt, I just think they're the more physical team. And as, you know, we're seeing it now, man. It's getting colder out there. The sun's going down faster. And in these type of weather, man, you need the more physical team. I'm going to go with Colquitt. I love Milton as well. For all the same reasons you do. Najee, I just think that they're more of like a spread offense kind of team. They can run on you and stuff like that, but I just feel like Colquitt's a lot more physical defensively, at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Let's see what Lou's saying. Thank you. That was such a cool nod. Such a cool video
You
nod.
peeped.
Yeah. Yeah.
You peeped, Luke.
They are
You know what I'm
balling. They
saying?
are balling, man. That was a good video for
Facts.
sure.
Hey, I told y'all that was a dope video. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think they come on top. So Jerome got Cold Quit. Who you got, Bacon?
I'm gonna roll Cokewood, man. Walk your trap, take over your trap. South Georgia coming up to the north side of Alpharetta.
Georgia boys.
Yeah, man, they're gonna come through. I like what you said, Jerome. More physical brand of football. Milton can be a little too sexy sometimes, and it takes a little bit of that South Georgia, down South Georgia boys to come up there and do their thing. So I'm gonna roll with Cold Quid. No disrespect, man. I like Milton. I would honestly like to see them go, but if I had to put my hard-earned dollars and my reputation on the line, I'd go with Cold Quid.
All right, we're gonna see. I think another one we should talk about, Warner Robins and Creekside. I think that's another intriguing matchup. This is last year's semifinals. I'm starting with you, Bacon. What you think about that matchup?
As much as it pains me to say it, because I know I'm all about the South Side, I just said the South Georgia boys, but I like Warner Robins, man. I like the quarterback play is a big reason why I'm gonna go with Warner Robins. I seen my boy Jeb do his thing against who they play tonight, Northside Columbus. That's Northside Columbus, Northside Warner Robins, and him Isaiah can't get going. I just don't trust my boy down there at Creekside to make those throws, the big time throws if he has to, man. So I'm always go with the more superior offense.
Then, huh?
I don't, man. He's made improvements from last year to this year, but
he's better.
But Jeb slinging that thing, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
You're not the only one to take Warren Roberts, my guy over here.
Oh yeah, you know what's up, Rag.
And what's your thoughts on it, Jerome?
Yeah, I seen Warren Robbins play last year. I haven't get to see him a lot this year. I know they're definitely a good team. Down South Georgia boys for sure.
BSGB.
But I see Mill Creek more. I'm sorry, not Mill Creek, Creekside. Sorry, I seen Creekside play a little bit more, and I don't know. I just think they got it a little bit more. I'm slight edge, just
slight edge. Yeah.
Slight edge to Creekside. I just think they're slightly more talented overall. I do agree the quarterback play might be a little bit different, but overall, I just think that Creekside is a little bit better.
So you rolling with Creekside?
I'm going Creek.
Respectable.
Yeah, interesting enough, they rushed for 463 yards in their last game. Creekside did 228 by Roger McCrary and then 123 by Travis Terrell. So I think for them is getting in front of the A ball on defense, right? Putting Warner Robbins in third and longs. I think it's going to be key in this game, right? Not putting too much. I agree with Bacon on Vincent Berry. He didn't have his best game, 6-14, 104. Right, but they got weapons to beat you, so it's going to be key for them to get the ball to the weapons. Right, the weapons is McCrary, Terrell, Shane Kelly. Those are going to be the key players. Right, so I think establish a rhythm early. If you're able to get the ball first, try to go get a early drive. I think you got to jump up on Warner Robins early. You can't allow them to hang around or get that momentum because it could be a long night. Like Bacon said, if they kind of fall behind 14-0. It might be tough for them because then, you got to almost close exclusively to throwing. But I'm going to roll with Creekside. I think this is just the year for the team. I like their seniors. I like their group as a whole. I think defensively they're going to be able to get enough turnovers, and I think they're very stout up front on both sides of the ball. That was my key in them winning the game last week. That's my key again. I think they're going to be able to kind of push. I don't say it's lightly. I think Warner Robins is a great team, but I think they're going to be able to push them around a little bit and kind of get it going. So I'm going to roll with Creekside.
Hey, I'm gonna have to step out real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, do you think?
The next one I want to look at with you, Bacon. I want to talk about Woodward Academy in Gainesville. What is your thoughts on that matchup?
Woodward Academy, Gainesville. I think this is the end of the road for Woodward Academy, man. Gainesville.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is the end of the road, man. I like them, but Gainesville, just to me, just more polished team, man. They're gonna get the job done. I like I can't remember the young man's name right now, the big defensive tackle. He's gonna get back there and wreak havoc. Big time defensive back transferred in from Grayson to this year.
Ryan Ferguson.
Yep. He had a crazy run last year in the postseason. So if he has a repeat of last year to this year, and the quarterback for Woodward Academy, he can put the ball. Well, I'll say this, which is why I brought up the defensive back. I just jogged my memory. When I seen him play against Jonesboro, Jamal Owens 2 picks. So and that's a similar elite type of defensive back to the brother at Gainesville. So I think it's the end of the road, man. I think it's the end of the road for him. What about you,
I think
man?
this game is going to be closer than you think. I think it's going to be a real good one between Gainesville and Woodward Academy. Obviously, every year they have good talent. And actually they've been using different quarterbacks. They've been using Griffin Marshall and the guy you probably seen too, Bacon. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do in this game because Marshall actually played a lot in their last game and in their win as well. But I think got to just make it simple, right? Lino Farrington, get the ball to the playmakers. Josiah Abdullah, Ben Grice, right? And see how it is. But they're going to have to be physical on defense. So I look at Andrew Hines. I look at London Merritt, right? They're going to have to be good in this game because they're going to want to run the ball with Gavin Hall, right? So they're going to have to be able to kind of make it tough, and make them a passing team. Not saying they can't do it with backs to right. They can. They got the read option. They got some good playmakers, but it's not the same as how it was last year, right? Still got some good ones, Eric Hart, Travion Watson, but you got to make it tough and you got to be physical. I think Woodward Academy can be physical on the outside. So I'm going to roll. I love Gainesville, but I'm rolling Woodward with a slight win. Cool.
Hey, did you guys get to talk about? Go ahead. What you saying? Okay, never mind. Did you guys get to talk about?
I said there's oh shit.
What happened?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jerome. My audio, my
Wi-Fi
must be tripping.
Yeah, I think I was asking. Did you guys get to talk about the Lee County, Douglas County?
We ain't got there yet.
Not yet.
Woodward Gainesville.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we got to finish Gainesville.
We on there.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I got off for a little bit, so I lost track of it. I'm taking Gainesville in that game, though. I think they're better. I think Gainesville is again more physical team, and they've proven me wrong all season. So I had to give it to Gainesville. I think I gave them a couple of L's this year, and they just kept winning. So I'm taking Gainesville. Yeah, no, 100%. So.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see that Zion Ferguson matchup. If he could take away Abdullah, that's gonna be like 40% of the offense right there.
Definitely.
Okay.
We can move on to Lee County, Douglasville for Jerome, man. That's a hot topic. That was a game I questioned about going.
Yeah.
I had to go to Walton and Carrollton, man.
I feel you. No, I wanted to talk about this one because two teams that I covered a lot. I covered Lee County a lot last year. Douglas County, very, very good team, all around good team, a younger team. Got talent everywhere. Obviously, they got the number one athlete in Aaron Gordon right now. Aaron Gregory. I would say Aaron Gordon. Nuggets. I'm sorry. Aaron Gregory. But Lee County, man, they got Cormora at that running back position, man, and that
28 touchdowns.
That dude is a physical runner, and I don't know if Douglas County played a running back like him, so that's going to be very interesting to see. I'm still going to give it to Douglas County, but I would love to see how they can kind of get stop Corum because, again, I don't think they matched up against a big physical and fast running back like him yet. So. Well, I don't know how that's gonna work out for them, man. What do you guys think?
That's a valid point. They even though they're young up front, they're dogs up front, man. And I know Justice have just no slouch. They play solid against Justice.
Justice. They did play Justice. Justice was tearing them up though. I'm not gonna lie. Justice was playing, bro. He was the only bright thing on their offense, honestly.
That is true.
Even Air, he wasn't playing that great in that game. It was really just Justice. Every time Justice was out of the game, you could tell.
Facts. That's facts. But I I watched a little bit of Lee County's film. Not enough to really give an in-depth breakdown, but Aaron Gregory is heating up right now, and that's a different dynamic.
Injury, he's feeling better at the injury. I did touch his dad. He said the injury's good to go, man. He's been balling lately. So I told you guys he's been slowing down. The only reason he haven't been putting up numbers this year because he was injured, and Dad said he's good to go. I believe that he's been showing that he's good to go. So
facts. And I want to see the young man, Sire Hardaway. You know what I'm saying? Get this just due, get that platform he deserves, man, and get some big motion coming his way, man, because he definitely deserves it. They got a lot to handle. James Johnson's another athlete, 2025 DB wide receiver. That's going to be a problem for Lee County to deal with. LaDarian Williamson, another big guy on that defensive line that's going to be able to corral the running back. So, man, I wish I knew more about Lee County. But I do know they're a well-respected team. Only one loss in the season, I believe. So,
yeah, Lee County got a really good safety in Devin Collier. He plays everywhere. They play some offense as well. They use him in wildcat situations. He's a jack of all trades. He's a really good player. They got a couple of cornerbacks. I can't remember their names right now. But Lee County got some dudes, especially on defense. They got some guys. So don't sleep on Lee County. That's all I'm saying. But I'm taking Douglas, but I'm just saying Lee County got some guys too. So
can they air it out? Can Lee air it out? No, that's separate.
Maybe not.
That's separate.
Yeah, I mean, off of play action.
That's gonna be big. That's
gonna be big. If they can get off the play action, I think they can, do that. But Lee County is not really a air it out kind of a team. So if they get in a shootout, it might be a problem.
For sure. I'm gonna take Douglas, but I'll pass off you now. You probably know a lot more about this team than I do.
Yeah, I think you gotta. If you're Douglas County going in this game, you gotta stack the box as much as you can, right? You got some pretty good athletes on the outside, and we didn't even mention them. Israel Jacob Boyce, who is really good. The safety. You also have Aaron Gregory that roams the safety position as well, right? So they're gonna have to come up big, I think, in this game, right? They're gonna have to be able to kind of defend as well. I think Boyce might still be hurt, but I know.
Okay, that's what I'm
going. Look like he was in church.
Yeah, he might be still hurt. I don't know the significance of his injury, but I know seeing him earlier.
Yeah, he got his ankle injured in that Langston game, and I know we was wondering before, and he was still on crutches like 2 weeks ago. So not sure where that is. I've been trying to keep updates on him, but I have no idea.
Yeah, so I think the key is going to be Gregory, though, on the back end, and how they're able to defend if they do play action, how fast he can get to the ball. I've seen him being able to be a ball hog back there as well. How fresh will he be as Jerome has been battling through an injury, right? He plays both sides of the ball, so he plays a lot of snaps, right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be key. And then the offensive line, right? Place that's not talked about for Lee County, they're really good on the defensive line. They can heat up. That's why they beat Houston County earlier, right? Leroy Jackson, UNC commit. You got some guys that can get after you. So Douglas County's got to be able to protect enough to be able to run the football. Like, you don't want to get one-dimensional in this game. And you got to be able to air it out. And I love it. I've always been high on Sire. I don't think he gets enough praise. He's a very underrated guy. And as you said, he needs that platform to kind of ball out and people say, oh, well, who is this kid? So I think this is one of these games he got to be able to come up big and step up big. Not try to do too much, take what the defense gives you. And do his thing. But, yeah, I think that's the key. The offensive line, Douglas County, how much has it improved? I haven't seen him since week 2. So how much has that improved to go up against this stout defensive line from Lee County? And on the other side of the ball, you got to stack the box, lean on Gregory County on your back end. And, what's that guy, Bacon, that you interviewed? That's his name, Jordan Brees Carter. Need him to have a big game, right? I need him to be in the backfield. I need him to be getting TFLs, right? I need them to be able to kind of limit Chroma as much as possible, because if you're not careful, man, we see what he did against Houston County on a string cap. That's about 70%. He showed you what he can do. So you got to be ready for that. So stack the box, I think, is the big thing.
And the thing about Chrome, man, like, he'll beat you up, and then all of a sudden he just go down the field for a 50-yard touchdown, So he's one of those guys you have to contain on him. You have to keep him, in that box, let rally to him. Don't let him hit that hole hard because once he get that head of steam, nobody wants to tackle that man. And we just talk about it being cold. You don't want to talk when it's cold. That cold business decisions, man.
Mm-hmm.
For
So
sure. Yes, sir. But
Jerome,
before we transition, any more matchups y'all want to talk about before we go to hoops?
Yeah, before we go, since Jerome knows the most kind of about a little bit about everything, we gotta get your prediction, man. What's your score prediction for this ball game?
For this one?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I'm gonna say 14.
Ooh.
23.
Okay, that's respectable.
Douglas. If they can keep Corum, or I might be saying his name wrong. I always still sorry. But Karama, damn, I don't forget his name. I'm sorry, I don't say it right. But if they can keep the running back in the pocket and in the box and not let him, have those long runs because he tries to do that every time. Every run's a touchdown for him. So if you can keep him contained, I think you can beat Lee County. I think Douglas County can do that, but again, I think this is still going to be a really good game. I don't like my score prediction doesn't really tell the story. I think this is a really fun game to watch.
Most definitely. Do we know anything? Do y'all know a lot about Central Carrollton? I know they got that.
They got a pretty good quarterback. Just got to jump back into Georgia League classes. J.R. Harris, standout freshman, beat out the senior this year. Jonas Walton is a 4-star player. The 2026 class is really, really good at a running back position. This is their first time since 1987 being 12-0. I think first time under head coach Umar Brown as well. So they got a really good team. They can air it out. They can run it. And they got a lot of playmakers to get the ball to out of space. So it's going to Starsman's going to have their hands full.
So Starsman likes to run. Well, they run a more pro style offense, kind of, but they got that wing T offense. So if they can control that tempo, slow it down, and take some shots, it's gonna be interesting to see, man. But they don't really have. They play sound defense. I don't want to say they got a lot of athletes, but I feel like that game is a toss up. It can go either way, man, because it's tough to stop that pan to the wing T that they got.
I agree, but they're gonna be on the road, man. I think Central Carroll come out on top.
That's true.
Man, this day year, man.
We can roll with that. All right, man. We can transition to the hopefully 3-man weave today.
Yeah, let's go ahead and transition to the 3-man weave. Yes, sir.
That was
yeah.
Now.
Well,
yeah.
All right, real quick. I just learned because, all right, I love playing basketball. I love playing sports in general.
My boy just learned what the charge is.
I
said my boy just learned what a charge is. What a charge is.
I know what a charge is. Come on, man.
I'm just messing with you, bro.
So one of my friends was telling me, because I was telling him, bro, let me play defense on basketball. I'll shut you down. That's just my thing. You're not getting past me. But when it comes to shooting, I'm dishing that out.
Yeah.
But he was just telling me, he was like, show me how you shoot. And I was like that. And he was like, bro, you got to follow up like this.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that changed the game. Okay. I got to try it. I just learned about that today.
Yeah.
My forward was good. So there you go.
Yeah. But for sure. It was a busy weekend of hoops, man. Had the James Naismith Classic. James Naismith, the namesake for coming up with the game of basketball, a little student lesson. Look, classes in session. Originator of the game of basketball in Massachusetts. To start out, the rim was a peach basket with a heavy ball. You could not dribble the ball. You can only pass the ball. It started in the YMCA. So if you want further information, you can refer to your local Wikipedia page. But nothing else to say more.
Wikipedia did not sponsor us.
Not yet at least. Not yet at least. This is all funded by hard work and effort and sweat. But Wesleyan, start off with the girls. Wesleyan versus Holy Innocents. Let's see. Wesleyan won this game. 2025. Johanna Potter. She had the game winning jumper against Holy Innocents. But the star of the show by far was Breonna Preston. She had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. She's a Texas commit. She's a dog, man. She was kind of going back and forth with Haley Swain, man, in Stanford. She gave her a little bump. You know what I'm saying? You like to see the camaraderie between the two. Haley Swain, 27 points, 11 of 21 from the field, 8 rebounds, and her co-star on the team, Zayna Preston, she kind of struggled. She was 4 for 14, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, man. Did you catch the game now? I was catching the highlights.
I unfortunately I could not in this one, but I know obviously as you mentioned her, Breonna Preston, Texas commit. She's very, very special. I did see a little bit of the Tucker Holly Innocence game. That was pretty cool. Tucker guy went off. Josiah Lawson, 32, 8, 4 assists and 3 blocks. Was 4-8 from 3, so he had a really, really good game. It was tightly contested, right? 64-61. You wouldn't think Tucker would compete that high. We know who Holly Innocence has on the other side and Caleb Wilson, so they gave him a pretty good test, man. And they performed really, really well. I think that's a positive note to go forward. But just going back to the Wesleyan one, I mean, I think they're going to be the team to beat in their conference. They have not had a player like this before, right?
They had Courtney last year.
What'd you say?
They had Courtney last year. Courtney Ogden.
Talking about Wesleyan?
Oh, Wesleyan. Wesleyan? I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Westminster. My bad, brother.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think they've had like a player like a Breonna Preston in recent memory for Wesleyan. They've had a good core team, but you talk about somebody, hey, you go get a bucket, or hey, you create and set up some offense. I think she's that kind of a player.
Man.
Most definitely.
So I think she's very, very special as well. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I had looked ahead actually. They have another one December 9th. I was looking at that one. But who came on top of the McEachern, Kel?
Yeah, man. McEachern was a bloodbath. They beat them boys like they stole something. 81-65, just a dominant win, man. That boy Ace went off for 31, man. If you looked at the stat line or just saw the points, you say CJ Brown, oh man, he had 18. The brother was 8 for 25, man. So that just lets you know all you need to know, man. Inefficient. Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because I know he played a lot off of Peyton last year. You got that interior presence kind of frees you up more. So maybe
they had shooters too.
And they had shooters, man. So he's having to create a little more. I know another brother they had on the team who went for 14, had a solid night, but it was too little too late, man.
I feel you. Well, I'll let you go on. This is your segment, man. So what you got next for?
We're gonna come back to the classic, man. I think it's one more team or two more teams. Yeah, we didn't talk about. I definitely want to talk about the Fayette County game, but we got to talk about. You can chime in on this too, Jerome. This is big. Recently, as of yesterday, the NIBC and EYBL have collabed, so to speak, to make the EYBL Scholastic, the top basketball teams in the nation: Mount Verde, Lynx Academy, Louis out of New York, IMG, and so on and so forth. Do we feel like this is a competitor to OTE? Are they going to pull a lot of kids to this league, and are we going to see OTE diminish because a lot of these kids play EYBL?
No, I don't think OTE Overtime Elite is going to diminish because I think they're putting out a good product, right? Still, I still think it's a good place to go. What I do think it does is it gives a little bit more exposure on a youth level, right? I think it allows them to get seen a little bit earlier, potentially, right? But I don't think it's it may not be as much as you're used to seeing. And I think a lot of that too, Bacon, has to do with like NIL as well. Like you see people are going to school. Like before it was Overtime Elite, but now it's like, okay, these kids can get paid while they're in school. So it's like, well, then I can go to school, even though it's for a year and, I don't really care about the classes or whatever. You're able to make money. Before you couldn't do that. So it's like, oh, what's the point? Like here I can make money. You can do the same thing in school. So I think what is going to help is the product compared maybe to OTE. OTE is great, but I think the product, you're going to see a more polished product. You're going to see more advanced players, right? Better scouting. Not that OTE doesn't do that. They do. But I think getting it young with the Nike EYBL and the success a lot of the players that play in the tourney have, I think you add that aspect to it. and them getting the kids at a youth level, I think it's just going to be a more polished game, more advanced kind of a game. Players are going to be even better. You're going to see players doing things you normally usually see because they're going to be so advanced because they're getting at a young age.
So if you had a son that was a 5-star, you send them to EYBL Scholastic or OTE?
I'm gonna send them to Scholastic. I think it's just a little bit more exposure. I think it'd be more beneficial for him. I think he'd go up. I mean, obviously you're going up against pro talent there too, but I think it'd just be a win-win for him because then he gets that experience early on, and he's going up against top players. Like right now, Cooper Flagg's playing in EYBL Scholastic right now, and he's been having a pretty good run. But I think it's just going to get him more polished for the game ahead. So I would send him to EYBL. What about you?
Yeah, definitely EYBL Scholastic. Definitely, it's just more. It's more heat, man. Like top 3, you got Montverde, Cooper Flagg, Link Academy. You got Trey Johnson, LeBaron Philon, and Lou He. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Team out of New York. You got BJ Edge, Cone Bay, big stock rise over the summer, man. That's just top 3 teams, man. It's 14 teams in this thing. So yeah, I think the heat is definitely in the Scholastic. What about you, Jerome?
I'm always gonna go with the OG just because like there's always gonna be new competition. You're always gonna see new teams, and I understand like yes, the new thing got all the new teams and all the new schools in it. I get that, but when it comes to the original, you gotta see what comes with the original, man. Because every year there's somebody competing for your spot, and when you have OTE. You have, they've been around for a while. They consistent with their stuff, and this is gonna have them put pressure on them to see how they if they gonna crumble or are they gonna push forward, man. Like we seen the days when we all was running to the treads, and now everybody's staying on Twitter. So things happen, and it'd be a trend for a little bit. But then that nuance from that new thing kind of makes the OG kind of like work better. But sometimes you're right. Sometimes things can overthrow some other things as well. But I always kind of like wait a little bit, see how things go. I know it's the hype. You got all the good schools and teams and everything like that. But I'm gonna stay with OTE just now because I know it's consistent and it's been around for a while.
I feel you. I would also like to say, man, it's gonna be interesting to see if this pulls kids from Georgia, because I know Georgia don't really cater to our basketball athletes like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We don't.
And it's a shame, honestly. It's a shame.
Yeah,
the talent's here.
It's funny because it's the total opposite up north. It's they put everything in the basketball and not a lot in football. It's the total opposite down here. They put a lot in the football, not a lot in basketball. So.
And when you think about it too, Bacon, the interesting part, guess who's the projected number 1 overall pick right now?
You talking about that brother from Canada, right?
No.
Who you talking about?
Huh?
From Georgia, Collier.
He's number 1 pick?
It's not
He's projected. That's keyword projected. But still, he just was playing in a Willard basketball uniform. So you can't tell me, and that's what I've always said, the talent's here. And guess who's projected as a top 5?
Stephon for sure.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the talent's here, obviously. I mean, these kids, we got to see a little bit of them. I mean, obviously, I didn't see them in person. I've seen them on TV. But you know what I'm saying? These kids can play. These kids can hoop. So I agree with you, and we got to do better as far as exposure and getting these kids out here because the kids coming from Georgia can hoop, man, and you want to keep them here. It sucks that I think his name Micah Smith left. Christian Anderson left. Right, those are great talents, man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what we got to do better of just as far as exposure, and it don't take much, man.
Yeah. Bacon, you're talking about Jerome Wagner from Camden, New Jersey. That's actually where I'm from. I met his dad a lot of times after his
Jerome from the gutter.
What you know about Camden? CMD, baby.
I don't heard those
CMD boys. I met his dad a lot of times after his.
Hopefully he comes back in, but we'll transition to back to the Naismith Classic. I want to bring up St. Pius versus Fayette County.
There you go. My bad.
Something to say.
No, I was just saying that I met his dad a couple of times after his career. After the failed career, I don't always think of you're not making an NBA means he had a failed career because he took that did some great stuff, and poured it into his kid. But I met him and his kid a couple of times in Camden. Dad was very humble guy, cool, liked him. So I'm definitely rooting for the Wagners for sure.
Most definitely. We transitioning back to the Hawks Naismith Classic. I want to talk about Fayette County St. Pius. The star of the show was Keith Gillespie, man. Super electric guard, had 26 points, 4-11 from three, man. You don't often see how high school players getting up 11 shots from behind the arc, so that just lets you know how special it is. And that ain't even it. Young brother had 6 assists to a 2 turnover ratio to go along with 4 steals, man. And St. Pius is no slouch of a program. So shout out to Keith Gillespie, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm definitely want to come see the young man playing in Fayette County, not too far from Noonan. And gotta talk about Wheeler. Wheeler defeated Newton handily by 20, 69-49. Wheeler's length was just too much, man. Coach had him in a 2-3 zone, man. They couldn't do too much after that, man. How many steals did they have? They forced 13 steals out of the zone. They was plus 6 on the glass, 41-35. So yeah, man, it was interesting to see that. Josh Hill for Wheeler he only had 8 points. It was a tough shooting night. Of course, it's early in the season. Mackenzie Ricky had 11 points, as well as Jacob Taylor. But for Newton, the bright spot for them was Jabaz Jenkins, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals. Definitely another solid scorer, man, 3-level scorer for them. Newton's the rebuild year, but both teams, a lot of young talent. Wheeler, when that team gets a little more experience behind them, if they don't leave and go to the EYBL Scholastic, which I doubt. I think Wheeler is a solid powerhouse in Georgia basketball, as well as McEachern, St. Francis, even though they don't really get the big names as often. Pace Academy, another team who has Georgia hoops on a chokehold. So that's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, that was an interesting game. I was hoping it was gonna be a lot more closer, Georgia, in the classic. But that's just how it is. Upcoming last segment, if we could all pull up our phones. I didn't put it in my notes, but we got Hoopsgiving this weekend, little Thanksgiving hoops. I'm going to pull up the lineup. It's pretty good. You know, I know, of course, we got Kai Fleming, Hoopsgiving. Let's see.
Yeah, you got Walnut Grove, Gainesville,
Pebblebrook,
Green Forest, Cedar Grove, Osborne, Kell, Newton, Peachtree Ridge, Grayson, and then Central Gwinnett, Tri-City. So as Bacon was mentioning, pretty good list of teams. Walnut Grove's actually been hot. I know we haven't talked about them yet. We should talk about standouts from this week. Marcus Smith and Tyler Jewell have been playing really well for Walnut Grove. They're off to a hot start right now. I think they're 3-0, or at least 2-1. They're having a great season so far. So you can see all that in action as well.
Definitely. I'll say a game I'm most looking forward to just looking at it now. Wheeler versus Holy Innocents, man. I'm not gonna be there, man. I missed the time to get in for media credentials, but I'll definitely get in and see. But you got Caleb Wilson going against Josh Hill. That's gonna be a good matchup. People are gonna say that Columbus, Florida, the Boozer Twins versus Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey is a big draw, but that's probably gonna be a bloodbath, man. They're gonna have too much. They got Benny, they got another young bull, and the Boozer Twins just gonna be too much for that McEachern team. And I'm gonna have to go back on my word, Najeh. I think Grayson by far is the front runner in GHSA 7A, man.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't know they lost
working up to
Moses
the party.
in the other, but I mean, Grayson's tough, man. I can't get it wrong.
I mean,
I'll say
Grayson
this:
like that.
they're not the cream of the crop like Wheeler last year, McEachern. You know what I mean? They're not I don't think they're beating those teams. I like Grayson, but you think they'd beat?
I don't know, bro. I think they'd be able to hang in the game if they was to play.
Yeah, but are they gonna beat them in like a state championship? No,
I think so. Yeah.
That's tough.
They could. This year especially, yes. And then real quick, Josh Hill's actually coming off a great game. Bacon played today Corner Canyon, I think in Arizona. He had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 blocks in their win. Big comeback victory for Wheeler in their game. Also, I got to give some love to Bacon, if you don't mind, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
O'Neal Connolly from Mount Pesca, he dropped 34 points and 7 rebounds today as well. 5 made 3-pointers, and then on the national level, I have some national stuff too.
Yeah.
I got to share real quick. So it's this kid, Jeremiah Wilkinson, 4-star point guard. Apparently, he was dishing out turkey dinner early, man. He wasn't playing no games, man. He set a program record for the most points scored in a game. Peep this stat line. I mean, his Thanksgiving dinner came early, man. 57 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Yes, Jeremiah Wilkinson, most points in program history. Yeah, he had Thanksgiving dinner very early. Huh?
Where's he at?
I just seen the tweet. Let me see. Oh, apparently plays for McEachern. That might not be him though. Hold on.
Yeah. I think he was supposed to play with them. Maybe I'm tripping.
It says TSF on his jersey though.
I know they got like a prep thing. He was supposed to play with McEachern, and that's why I was on the bandwagon. Wilkerson.
Oh, he plays for TSF National.
Yeah, he's tough. Mississippi State commit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, super dog. But yeah, I'll just say this: we can move on to the end of the show. The College Park Skyhawks undefeated right now, man. Doing big things in the G League. Chris Silva, Seth Lundy from Penn State. They got a lot of good things going on. So I know I'm gonna be down there. Najeh is probably gonna be down there. Sorry, brother. Dang it, Jerome. If you want to slide, you know what I'm saying, and come to the south side of College Park, man, it's definitely gonna be a show, man. They're gonna have G League at night coming.
College Park.
College Park. So yeah, man. Shout out to the Skyhawks, man.
Yeah, last thing on hoops, Bacon, we didn't mention they're actually going to be featured on ESPN McEachern. They're going to play against Harvard Westlake January 15th. So go check that out. I love that. I mean, I think they gave the only televised game besides the state championships, which is sad, Bacon. That state championships are not going to be televised this year by GPP. So that suck. Yes, budget cuts. So yeah, that's sad. But they pretty much televised the only game on TV when they had the star talent, right? Stephon Castle and Newton versus Wheeler. ESPN did come out here and televise that. But I think that's another marquee matchup we got to watch for McEachern and Harvard Westlake January 15th as they start doing the basketball showcase for ESPN.
And they better let the media come in with the cameras, man, because GHSA as a whole will be tripping on the media coming in. Like, you got to be a radio guy. You got to be this. Like, man, if you're not going to air it, man, let the people come in and give the athletes some exposure, man. If y'all not going to come out y'all pocket and support the youth, that's what we're doing it for at the end of the day. But that's neither here nor there. But, yeah, back to you, Najeh.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead for the recap. This is the part that Jerome takes over. Obviously, I host the show and the main topics, but this is the part that Jerome takes over. So I'll start with you, just your recap of everything, and I'll let you go ahead and host.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the recap is, man, that 7A tournament right now, the Elite 8 right now, looking real tough. We got the Beaufort and Grayson, Carrollton and Walton. Great games, man. I know all of us will be looking at all 4 of those games. Really, I mean, those games are some tough games, and don't discredit any of the other classifications as well. They got some great games going on, man. It's gonna be a wild weekend. Obviously, Thanksgiving weekend. You know how football is for Thanksgiving weekend. Excuse me. So I think it's gonna be a great stuff, man. We also got our biggest surprises that we had. My hot take with the tight ends in that Beaufort and Grayson game. So look out for that. I'm still for that. My man Najee still owe me Chick-fil-A. We're not gonna forget that.
Whenever I see you, bro. Whenever I see you. I mean, I ain't ducking you. Whenever I see you.
Wait, did we have a bet for this weekend?
I don't think so.
No.
I thought you said something about this weekend for the Michigan game.
I said I thought Maryland would win, but we never bet.
Okay. Okay.
Make sure I'm there,
It
Jerome.
was a good game. Don't get me wrong. That was a good game. Maryland
I
played
knew it would be.
soft. It was a good game. It
Yeah.
was closer than I thought. But yeah, man. Definitely. I'm really curious to see how, because Michigan haven't been playing that as to part without Jim Harbaugh. I'm very curious to see how that goes. But that's going to so let's get to where we're going to be at this weekend, where to find us at. Najee, let's start with you. Where are you going to be at, sir?
I will be at home. I'll be doing recaps and
Okay.
recaps and scoreboard. That's it.
Is this the first weekend since football started at your home?
It's home last week too.
Oh, really? Really? You was just watching film?
Yeah, I mean, I basically just going on Twitter, finding whatever scores is, and then writing recaps on them, and then I just watch the games from home. So
I bet. What about you, Bacon?
Yeah, as right now, it's pretty much concrete that I'll be at Carrollton to watch that Carrollton Walton game. But if the wind blows a certain way and I can find another shooter, I may try to cover both them and Douglas County and Lee County.
Hey, there you go. All right, as I said before, I'm trying to get into Grayson. Coach Cardwell, man, answer my calls, bro. I got a good relationship with him, man. He's cool. He just haven't answered my text this week. So probably getting a lot of texts for this game, though. This is a big game, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Thanks.
But yeah, that's where I'm trying. Yo, me, Luke, and Jeremy kind of all agreed that that's probably the game that we are going to go to. It's not often that all three of us at the same game at the same time. So because we cover so much of Georgia, but we all was like, let's try to get this game. So I'm trying to get in that one. So that's where you can find me. If you like Luke Winstall, you like Jeremy Johnson from On Three, definitely check all three of us out because we're gonna have some fire content from that game, especially if I can get it. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us today, guys. Any last words from you guys, Frank, real quick?
Who wants to go first? I always, since apparently I always have some come up with something off the top, man. Just be you. Just be you. Love you. I always, when you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, tell yourself you love yourself, whatever affirmations you have, man. Don't be afraid to be hard on yourself. And if you got something that's going wrong, you're trying to figure out, don't be afraid to use Google or AI, man. You know what I'm saying? We're in a new millennium, new world, use the technology around us, and always strive to be the best you and only you. Don't try to be someone else that you're not, because God only made one of you, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Naj?
No, I don't.
Not nothing? You got something, brother. You got something. You got to give it to us, man. You got some wisdom up there, man.
You know what he got? Man. He got sleep on that mind. That's what he got. That boy is ready. Out. I've seen your eyes, man. I've seen your eyes. I got one last thing. I said this to I like to bring in like stuff that I say to people throughout the week and stuff like that. And I don't think I'm a wisdom guy, but one thing I do like to say is be careful with the voices in your head sometimes. Not all the voices in your head are good voices. A lot of chaos comes straight from your head. So if you're thinking that, I will be just be careful, because a lot of times when you're feeling like there's a lot of chaos in your life, sometimes that chaos is not actually there. So just be careful. Take a step back before you rationally react, and definitely, take in what's going on and like, hey, is this actually as bad as I think or as crazy as I think? Because sometimes it's not as bad as you think, sometimes it is in your head. So keep that in mind. I'm always talking, mental health, especially with us males. Yeah. So, if you guys ever need some help or whatever, definitely DM us inside the hashes, or Jerome, I think it's Jerome, ITH on Instagram. If you ever need some advice, I'm here for you guys, especially as brothers, man, for sure. So that's going to do it for us today, man. Appreciate everybody getting on. Make sure you go and like that YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on each one. We got all of the social media right here. That does definitely support us. If you want to be on our live podcast, definitely hit that notification on any of our YouTube channels, because as you've seen, we have live commentary that we do comment back on. So we do appreciate all our guys, Luke being in here, Rasta Fitness in here, man. Major contributors, and we only just scratching surface with this podcast, man. We're trying to take it to new heights. We're looking into getting this better and better each week. So it can only help from you guys, man. We love our fans. We're gonna try to get you involved as much as possible. We're gonna try to get as many guest appearances as we can to share some different types of knowledge and stuff like that. So check us out on the First and Foremost podcast, Revolutionary Podcast. I'm going to say that right now. This is going to take off, manifesting it. So let's get it, man. We can't do it without your support, so we love it. And so thanks everybody for getting out for us, man. So that's going to do it for us. Again, that's going to be Najee right there. Bacon right there.
Peace.